Welcome to Atlanta Local Unplugged, the podcast that explores Atlanta's vibrant local scene for food, music, entertainment, culture, unplugged events, and the many hidden gems in Atlanta. Your host is Riley Bennett. Let's dive in.
Hey y'all, I'm Riley Bennett, your guide for Atlanta Local Unplugged, and today we're stepping into the color-soaked world of murals, galleries, and late-night creative energy across the city. Whether you've lived here for years or you're visiting for the weekend, Atlanta's art scene is one of the most expressive ways to understand the neighborhoods, the people, and the pulse of the ATL. In this episode, I'll show you how to explore street art like a local, pick the best times for photos, and fold in gallery nights, food pop-ups, and live music so your art crawl naturally becomes a full-on creative weekend. We'll map the photogenic hits, Krog Street Tunnel, Wiley Street, Beltline East Side and West Side trails, Sweet Auburn and Edgewood, then plug in bites nearby, markets to browse, and evening options if you want to keep the vibe rolling. Grab comfy shoes, charge your phone, and bring your curiosity. By the end, you'll have an insider itinerary, names of artists to look for, and smart ways to support the scene year-round. Let's make your Atlanta weekend feel inspired and delicious. Let's start with why Atlanta's public art matters. Our murals aren't just pretty backdrops. They're neighborhood statements and memory keepers. Back in 2010, Living Walls sparked a citywide conversation by inviting international and local artists to paint large-scale works tied to social issues and urban identity. Those early walls in places like Edgewood and Grant Park showed how paint could reframe a block, draw foot traffic, and give residents a new visual language for their stories. Not long after, art on the Atlanta Beltline expanded the canvas. The Beltline's annual exhibition blends sculpture, performance, and wall pieces along miles of former rail corridors, encouraging people to move between neighborhoods and experience art as part of daily life. Then came Outer Space Project, a festival bridging gallery culture and street culture with murals, installations, and music, especially visible around Old Fourth Ward and industrial pockets on the west side. Together, these efforts shifted Atlanta from drive-by city to walk-and-wonder city. They helped small businesses bloom near fresh walls, inspired youth programs, and framed civic pride in color, pattern, and message. When you pause at a mural here, you're not just taking a photo, you're witnessing how creativity literally rewires the map. It keeps communities talking. For pure mural density, start in Cabbagetown at Wiley Street and the Krog Street Tunnel. The tunnel's layers of tags, stencils, and paste-ups change constantly, so every visit feels different. Step out onto Wiley, and you'll find large, photo-ready pieces rolling block after block. Great for wide shots, fashion portraits, or detailed textures. From there, hop to the Beltline East Side Trail between Inman Park and Old Fourth Ward. You'll meet rotating wall pieces, sculpture nodes, and skyline views that make golden hour frames glow. Continue south toward Ponce City Market for more walls and a snack break, or pivot north toward Piedmont Park when you want leafy backdrops with art peeking through. On the west side, the Beltline's West End and West View stretches deliver heavyweight walls near breweries and food halls, less crowded than the east side with roomier angles. Don't skip Sweet Auburn and Edgewood, where civil rights history, nightlife, and wall art intersect. You'll catch political portraiture, bold typography, and tributes to local legends on corners that feel alive at almost any hour. Little Five Points adds quirky pieces and storefront backdrops nearby. Let's talk etiquette and timing so your photo walk is smooth and respectful. Best light lands early morning and the last 2 hours before sunset. You'll dodge harsh midday glare and most crowds. In the Krog Street Tunnel, night shoots can be moody, but bring a friend and stay aware. Cars use the tunnel, and artists are often working. If you encounter a lift, fresh paint smell, or cones, that's a work in progress. Admire from a distance and don't touch wet surfaces. Never tag over someone else's piece, and don't peel posters or stickers. If a homeowner's fence or private lot frames a mural, ask permission before stepping in, and avoid blocking driveways or doors. Keep models off fragile plantings and rails, and pack out any props. For safety, stash valuables, hydrate, and follow your instincts. Edgewood, Sweet Auburn, and West End are lively, but situational awareness is key late nights. Finally, credit artists when you post. tag the painter, the neighborhood, and the festival, and share a location pin so other art lovers can find the wall without guessing. And smile. One of my favorite hidden gems is Tiny Doors ATL, a citywide trail of 6-inch doors tucked into walls, retaining edges and community spaces. Each little portal is site-specific, often reflecting the neighborhood's character. Think pastel frames near playful parks or minimalist designs beside historic brick. Turning it into a scavenger hunt adds a whimsical layer to your day and engages kids and grown-ups alike. Start at the Beltline's East Side Trail, where a few doors sit near popular rest stops, then branch toward Old Fourth Ward Skate Park and the Freedom Park paths. Keep your eyes low. The delight comes from discovering scale in unexpected places. Snap a close-up with your phone at macro mode, or frame the tiny door against the broader street to emphasize contrast. The Tiny Doors ATL website and socials share hints without spoiling the surprise, so check for current locations and seasonal installations. Pro tip: bring a small notebook for kids to stamp sketches of each door they find. It's a pocket-sized memory, and it teaches everyone to look carefully at corners we usually pass. Stay curious. When you're ready to step indoors, mark your calendar for recurring gallery nights. Castleberry Hill's Second Friday Art Stroll transforms the historic warehouse district into an open gallery block party. You can wander loft spaces, peek at studios, and talk directly with artists and curators. The High Museum keeps evenings lively with First Friday-style programs and Friday jazz, pairing exhibitions with DJs, live bands, and cocktails. Perfect for a swanky date night. ABV Gallery, a hub for contemporary and street-influenced art, hosts exhibition openings and often aligns with Outer Space Project activations, so you can meet muralists whose work you saw outside. Mocha GA and SCAD Fash regularly unveil new shows with talks, screenings, and receptions that dive deeper into process and context. Always check each venue's current calendar. Times shift seasonally, and special previews or ticketed slots can sell out. If you only remember one tip, it's this: arrive early, ask questions, and let conversations guide you toward the next room. Happily. Once you know a few signatures, Atlanta's walls start talking back. Greg Mike is impossible to miss. Bold color fields, sharp lines, and his signature loud move character. Wide grin, cartoon teeth pop up around Old Fourth Ward near ABV Gallery and on Beltline-adjacent facades. Hence, also known as Alex Brewer, pushes abstract mark-making at architectural scale, transforming buildings with sweeping gestures, drips, and color blocks that feel like painting and sculpture at once. Look for large works along industrial corridors and older warehouse shells. Yo-Yo Faro brings playful looping line work over bright palettes, often layering hearts and organic forms that read as joyful from a distance and thoughtful up close. You'll find his murals across Inman Park, Midtown, and family-friendly spots near parks. Fabian Williams, aka Occasional Superstar, injects Atlanta's civil rights lineage into the present with powerful portraiture. Think Technicolor depictions of activists, athletes, and cultural icons, especially in Sweet Auburn, Edgewood, and along corridors where history and nightlife meet. As you explore, try naming an artist before you check a tag. It's a fun game, and it builds your visual vocabulary, making each block feel like a chapter in an ongoing conversation. You'll spot evolving collabs and surprises after festivals too. Here's a DIY weekend art crawl that flows without rushing. Friday evening, start at the High Museum for a First Friday-style night or Friday jazz, then drift to Colony Square or a Midtown rooftop for a nightcap. Easy MARTA access, plenty of parking, and lots of people watching. If ABV Gallery has an opening, swing by afterward. You'll catch artists in conversation and maybe a pop-up mural live sketch. Saturday morning, hit the Beltline East Side early. Begin near Inman Park. Walk toward Old Fourth Ward Skate Park and keep going to Ponce City Market. Detour into side streets for hidden walls, then push farther south to Krog Street Tunnel and the Wiley Street Corridor in Cabbagetown. Lunch at Krog Street Market, and if the Atlanta Indie Market is set up nearby, browse makers before an afternoon cold brew. Saturday night, post up in Edgewood or Old Fourth Ward for DJs or a live set. Sunday, shift to Castleberry Hill late morning for the Gallery District's warehouse textures and rotating exhibits. The Second Friday Art Stroll is the headline, but many spaces open on weekends. Cap with brunch at a casual cafe, then wander to nearby murals for a soft landing. take it slow. Pairing art with the right bites keeps your momentum and your mood high. After Wiley Street and the Tunnel, Krog Street Market is your refuel station. Ramen steam, tacos, dumplings, and small batch sweets under one roof, plus coffee for a quick recharge. Along the East Side Trail, Ladybird Grove and Mess Hall is an easy stop for patio vibes and camp-style plates. If you want a bigger mix, Ponce City Market delivers stalls for every pallet and elevators up to the rooftop for skyline photos. Around Old Fourth Ward, look for neighborhood bakeries and pop-up espresso bars tucked into side streets when you need a quieter pause. On the West End near the Beltline, the Leeds White Complex bundles breweries, distilleries, and food stalls into one walkable stretch, great for groups with mixed tastes. In Castleberry Hill, casual cafes and sandwich shops sit a short hop from galleries, making it simple to grab a bite between openings. If you're night crawling, consider late-night slices on Edgewood so you can keep your art walk going without breaking stride. Vegetarian and gluten-free eaters are covered at most halls, but menus rotate. Check vendor Instagram stories for sellouts, specials, and pop-ups before you commit lines. Today, pop-ups and markets stitch food and art together across town. The Atlanta Indie Market often lands along or near the Beltline, bringing vendors with prints, jewelry, handmade home goods, and quick eats. Think empanadas, birria tacos, and vegan sweets. Pullman Yards hosts rotating happenings from art fairs to immersive shows. Check listings for vintage markets, food truck rallies, and special projections on the old rail buildings. Seasonal neighborhood markets in Grant Park, West End, and Old Fourth Ward add local ceramics, zines, and small batch sauces to your tote. When the sun drops, plug into the local sound. Edgewood and Old Fourth Ward bars swing from funk bands to house DJs depending on the night, so you can keep the creative current flowing. For ticketed rooms, Variety Playhouse in Little Five Points is a beautiful spot for indie and soul, while the Masquerade at Underground Atlanta splits stages across vibes, from heavy guitars to electronic, often hosting touring acts alongside local openers. Aim your schedule so the art crawl hands the baton to music. Your feet will already be warmed up. Check age limits, dress codes, and set times to avoid surprises. Buy early. Let's make the art crawl accessible and easy to navigate. The Beltline's East Side and West Side trails are largely flat and paved, friendly to strollers and wheelchairs. Expect occasional busy pinch points near Ponce City Market and Krog. MARTA can be your secret weapon. Inman Park, Reynoldstown Station, puts you near the east side. King Memorial drops you close to Sweet Auburn and Edgewood, and West End Station lines you up for the Lee plus White corridor. Bring a Breeze card or use Tap to Pay, and check weekend headways. To link murals efficiently, consider scooters or bike share. Stations sit near trailheads, and rental apps show battery range so you can plan out and back loops. Helmets are smart, and bells help in pedestrian zones. If you're driving, target decks at Ponce City Market, lots around Krog Street Market, or garages in Midtown and Castleberry Hill. Read signage because time limits and towing are real. And remember, art is everywhere. Short walks between nodes add unexpected finds, like tiny doors or a fresh paste-up after last night's rain. Carry water, sunscreen, and a portable charger. Atlanta humidity sneaks up fast, especially midsummer afternoons. Shade breaks help everyone. Before we wrap, a few pro photo notes and ways to give back. At Krog Street Tunnel, shoot from low angles to dramatize the ceiling lines and let car headlights backlight spray textures. At Wiley Street, step across the road for clean frames, then move obliquely to capture length and depth. Golden hour makes colors rich. Cloud cover is your friend for portraits. To dodge crowds, start early or go late. Support the scene by buying prints and zines at openings, tipping tour guides, snagging a tee from your favorite muralist, and following artists and galleries on social, so love keeps commissions coming. Rainy day? Swap to indoor culture. The High Museum, Mocha GA, SCAD Fash, and spots like Whitespace or Kai Lin Art. Planning resources. Bookmark the Atlanta Street Art Map and the Beltline Art Map for current locations and self-guided routes. Today we traced the arc from living walls to the Beltline and outer space, mapped mural districts, paired bites and music, and built a weekend itinerary. Thanks for listening to Atlanta Local Unplugged. I'm Riley Bennett. Keep wandering, keep supporting, and I'll see you out on the trail soon.
You've been listening to Atlanta Local Unplugged with host Riley Bennett. Until next time, plan fast, explore deep, and enjoy Atlanta.